We do love a good nun book here.
So last year we had a lot of fun with our nun book reading challenge. So today we thought it'd be fun to bring to you 5 of our favorite books on nuns and religious sisters.
Nuns are always so inspiring to read about, and yes, we do realize there is a difference between a nun and a religious sister. A nun is a religious sister who lives in a cloistered community,
whereas a regular religious sister has much more contact with the outside world. But for ease in this video, we're going to use the terms interchangeably.
And we've got a nun book for everyone, so let's get started.
So if you want a book that will really inspire you, we're going to start with Florence Nightingale's Nuns, which is part of the Vision Book series for kids, but as we've said before, we enjoy reading it as adults.
So most of us are familiar with Florence Nightingale. She was a pioneer in the nursing field during the Crimean War, and we had heard rumors that she maybe had some nuns with her, but until we read this book, we knew nothing about them.
But as it turns out, 10 Irish nuns from the Convent of Mercy in Bermondsey, England, came over to help Florence Nightingale tend to the wounded soldiers.
So this is such a fascinating story because these nuns had no medical training. They learned everything on the fly about nursing. The conditions were beyond awful, and yet they were like beacons of light shining in that awful darkness. Of all the helpers that Florence Nightingale had, the Bermondsey nuns were her favorites.
So in this book, you meet Reverend Mother Mary Clare and the 9 other nuns who came to work in Crimea to help the soldiers. And so you learn about all the different things that happened to them, but also how much resistance there was to organized nursing at the time.
That was really eye-opening. The sisters did everything they could to help make the lives of the soldiers better, but oh my goodness, nursing then versus nursing now. Let's just say that we're really glad we're in the nursing now era.
But it also makes it a very fascinating read, so do not miss this book.
If you like your nun stories with a touch of whimsy, then you will really like this one, The Flying Nun by Terry Rio.
So yes, this is the book that inspired the TV show with Sally Field, but it was a book first, and the original title was The 15th Pelican.
So in this one, we follow the adventures of young Sister Bertrille, an American daughter of charity who goes down to San Juan to join her fellow sisters in a convent there where they tend to orphans and old people.
But Sister Bertrille is not your average nun. She is a flying nun, which of course comes with its own set of unique consequences.
So we don't do spoilers on our channel, but we'll just say that this is very humorous and touching. It's just a really fun read, and it's not even that long, so it's perfect for summer. We have always loved this book.
Now, if you're looking for a book on cloistered nuns, then we can definitely recommend A Right to be Merry by Mother Mary Frances, who was a Poor Clare.
If you're thinking that the life of a cloistered nun might be boring or monotonous, this book will make you think again. It is so funny and joyful. In it, you go with the nuns to Roswell, New Mexico, where they're establishing a new convent. So you're with them through that whole process, from finding a farmhouse to buy, to setting up shop, to surviving the super cold winters.
So there's tons of interesting details in this book, but we especially enjoyed the humorous look at the Poor Clare diet.
But it's also very touching in places. One part that stands out in my mind is one winter when it was freezing cold outside and the nuns were trying to stay warm, so they were all sitting on the staircase inside the farmhouse, huddled up on the stairs. They don't wear shoes though, so their toes were turning blue, but through it all they were filled with the joy of the Lord.
This book also has a lot of information on St. Clare in it, so it's a winner on a whole bunch of levels. And it was out of print and hard to come by for a very long time, but they did finally bring it back, so we're really glad.
Hooray! So if you like Mother Mary Frances and enjoyed this book, she wrote several other books, so you can also check those out.
Now, if you're interested in books that give the reason why some women joined the religious life, then we have 2 for you. The first one is a vintage book called Melody in Your Hearts by Reverend George Kane.
So back in the 1950s, Father Kane sat down with a group of religious sisters and interviewed them about why they originally joined the convent. And so he wrote that all up in a book called Why I Entered the Convent, and it became hugely popular back in the day.
So because that book became so popular, in 1958, Father Kane sat back down with the same nuns and talked to them about their stories from their lives as sisters. And he took all of those and put them into this book, which also became very popular.
And if you read it, you'll understand why reading about their lives is so interesting. They were so funny. You just fall in love with them. We especially enjoyed the story of one sister who said that she joined the convent at a very young age, and her family kept waiting for her to get tired of it and come home.
But she never got tired of it. She said, well, it's been 59 years and I'm still not tired of being a nun.
So you hear about all their ups and downs, and it just makes for a really enjoyable book.
So the other Why I Became a Nun book is Millennial Nuns by the Daughters of St. Paul. This was published in 2022 and gives a very current look into the lives of nuns.
The Daughters of St. Paul are the media nuns, so you might recognize that name. They run bookstores and they're very active on social media, and you can also find them on YouTube.
So this book is very good, but it's a lot more gritty than the other books. These ladies are very open and honest about the challenges of the modern world, and there's sometimes rocky, rough paths into the convent.
For instance, one of them talks about some health problems that she had, and another talks about the complete shock she had when she was sitting in a library and that idea of becoming a nun first flashed into her mind. She had a completely different plan for her life already mapped out.
But we appreciated the honesty, and it really shows how God calls all different kinds of people to serve him in the religious life.
So just as an FYI, we found this one as an audiobook on Hoopla. So it is available there. If you have access to Hoopla, you can go right now and listen to it.
So last, we have a little bonus book. It's a nun picture book called Sister Claire Gets Ready for Prayer by Katie Warner.
This is such a delightful book. We love the illustrations in it, and we also love that it's very interactive. So we want to give you a look inside the book. So let's go ahead and do that now. Okay, so let's look inside really quickly. So the text and the pictures are very inviting. Sister Claire is inviting you into the convent, and then she asks you to do different things, like you have to tap the candle to light it, and then she carries it around through the convent. So you go with Sister Claire through all her daily activities, and then you get to pick like what activity you would like to do with her. It's just so much fun. And then at the end, there's a little bit more detailed information. So it's just a super fun book and a really great introduction into the religious life.
So this book is a great introduction to the lives of nuns for younger kids. And it's just there, it'll plant those seeds.
We can plant the seeds and then the Holy Spirit will water them. Okay, so we do have other books about nuns that we really like, but we'll save those maybe for another video, another day. This is it for today.
So let us know in the comments if you have a favorite nun book as well.
So we hope you enjoyed the video today. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time. Bye.